Hello, hello. I guess I should have put on some makeup because my eyes feel really small. Whatever, they still work. Good morning. This is a public service announcement with guitar. I mean, come on, people. Know your rights, all three of them. Good morning. This is about as like makeup tutorial, casual video that I'll get. I kind of never understand those videos where people can get ready and talk at people at the same time. I would inevitably be like poking my eye with a mascara wand, or I would look like the woman on Airplane when she's trying to do her makeup, you know. So what you'll get from me this morning, is me putting on my trusty chapstick. Good morning, Cece Fitzhenry. Nice to see you on this weekend. I hope it is lovely in your environs. I know you're not where I am. Oh yeah, let's do the romper room roll call, okay? The Destination Declutter roll call. We got Colleen, we got Robin, we have Cece Fitzhenry, Connie and Dan, Maria and Robin and Kathy and KJ and Sissy and Lady Lane and Glory Jean. Once upon a time in America. Witty and Maps. I love Maps. Tanya, good morning to you too. Miss Prentice, good morning. Katie, good morning. And Landra, see, everybody's filing in. Now, I will share this with you at the beginning while we're just kind of getting warmed up, started. Speaking of warmed up, I put this little hat on my mug to see if we'll keep warm. We'll try that out. I have had a few people who are subscribed to or like my page here on TikTok mention that they don't get notified when I go live. Now, yesterday I did a pop-up, so it wasn't a scheduled thing, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure what their notification process is. You might want to check your settings to see if you get notified about these things. I'll do something on my end, but also take a look at what your settings are. I know I tend to, because I can easily get distracted and get nothing done. I make a purpose of shutting down every single push notification for everything that I have, and it just saves my brain. So if you get overwhelmed, I will say this, even the clutter in your brain. Notice what you already have set up that's disrupting you, interrupting you, distracting you from what you want to focus on. And what you want to focus on, maybe even just practicing focusing. Ooh, how's about that? Good morning, Loopy 2 p.m. and Bluegrass and Cat and Barbie and everybody. So good morning. I forgot to do this yesterday, and I usually just jump in because I see familiar names and faces. But if we haven't met before, and I'll probably do this a couple of times during the next hour that I am doing this TikTok live. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Now that's Destination Decluttered here on TikTok. Follow me if you like what you hear. I also record these TikTok lives and upload them to YouTube. I do that for free. I do this for free. And then I do one-on-one paid coaching. One-on-one paid coaching. What is that? That's just you and me. You're at your house. I'm at my house because we're on Zoom for an hour a week for 10 sessions, maybe 20 sessions, maybe 30. I leave that up to you because I, as a coach, think it's really important to move at a pace that feels right to somebody. Like, unless you get something, it's so much easier to progress forward when the things you're doing are clicking. So we work at a pace that feels right to you. I do these TikTok lives to help you realize what a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of structure, a little bit of, planning, scheduling, literally just giving yourself the space and the time to ask yourself a question. Listen for the answer. Now I say listen and I'm pointing in my ear, but really what I want you to do is listen right here in your heart. Listen for your answer. And then after you've kind of run that question down and you've let it swirl around here, to go from the head to the heart to the hand, as I like to say, to write down the answers to those questions, because each one of us is on a similar journey and each one of us is on a completely separate journey because it depends on where you are and what you're doing, what you're struggling with. So I do this. I listen to your questions about clutter, where you're struggling. I run it through my expertise, and with my heart and with my knowledge that what we're doing here can feel difficult, but it's not going to be as scary as you think, that I can help you with an answer. Okay. I want you to get used to that process for yourself too. Now, Bluegrass 8264 says, my friend Nami I had my Uncle Chick's name was Normie. Nami, Boston. My friend Nami has 80 pairs of socks. Okay, that's a really cool fact. The amount of socks you have doesn't really matter. It's about how Normie feels about his socks. Here's where I will always be riffing on pop culture references and stuff. This is what my brain is and my heart is offering to me is think about the three bears, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Baby Bear, and Goldilocks, who broke into their house to eat their porridge. But notice how the bears, one had stuff that was too hot, the other one had stuff that was porridge that was too cold, and the other person had just right. It was probably the same pot of porridge. So it all depends on how Normie feels about how many socks they have. 80 pairs of socks mean you never have to wash a pair of socks for like 2+ months if you wear a pair a day. I was thinking of socks actually this morning, strange as this comes up on a call, because I was realizing that really the only laundry that I kind of, was picking up this morning off of the floor of the bedroom was literally my unders and my socks and just throwing them in the hamper. So, if Normie's cool with those socks, Normie's cool with those socks. If Normie's not cool with the socks, though, give him this idea. For them, I don't know if Normie's a Norman. Everybody, if we have multiples of something, I just want you to think about this. If you have multiples of something, think of something you have a multiple of. Notice I said this. I give you a question. Think of something you have a multiple of. And then, which ones are your favorites? Do you have a pen that you like to write with versus the other pens? What are the socks that if all were equal and they're all there and nice and clean, what are the ones you look forward to that you easily grab, no big deal? And what are the ones you kind of leave for later? I think about this with underpants. Like I've got my good ones, I got my medium ones, and I've got in case I haven't done laundry ones. Notice you are categorizing these things. You're already doing this organically. This is what our brain does to overcome overwhelm, as I like to say. Notice your favorites and notice the ones you like the least. And save your favorites. Do something about the ones you don't like. Maybe donate them to a homeless shelter or something like that. And then the ones in the middle, figure out what a good quantity is for you. Do they all fit easily in your drawer? These are the thoughts. Notice we were talking about Normie socks. We can talk about that with every single thing, item. I always feel like I should have more items around me to use as examples, but I'm fairly decluttered. I mean, I have stuff around me as I look at my over 100 snow domes right here, but they're not within easy reach. So I hope that helps. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. I love this. Tanya saying, thank you, Beth. I have been on a journey and now have the bedroom organized and it works for me. Yes, you can do it. All right. That's awesome. And I would like to think it feels good. Ms. Krentis is also cheering you on. We are here to encourage ourselves because encouraging gives you the courage to do these things again. When you feel good, I say, am I right? But it's rhetorical because I'm going to bet you when you feel good about what you're doing, it's going to be easier to do it the next time. It's going to be effortless. It's going to be less daunting if you feel good about what you're doing versus dragging your heels and dreading and daunting and all that. Okay? And I love it. Yes, Tanya's saying, and this is what I do too for the people who are here on the TikTok live, like kind of you're tuned in, but you're out decluttering. I reread the comments and the questions also for the people who are listening to the recordings on YouTube. So Ms. Tanya is saying it feels good. It feels good to spend time in there now. Yeah. Where do you want to spend your time? You want to spend your time in a place that feels good, and you want to spend your time feeling good. The more I coach, the more I am so glad I paid for coaching. I paid for coaching to get my coaching certification. And the more I coach, the more I know it always comes back to some simple truths. And the truth is we do things to make ourselves feel good and feel better. That's why I want you to declutter, not for anybody else but you. Okay? What's in it for you? I want what's in it for you to be you feeling better. Okay. I love it. Abbott Elementary says, not listening to a recording, but I'm here live. Yes, live from New York. It's Saturday night. Okay, Fatima, I'm trying really hard. You're so awesome. You know what? If you are trying really hard, you're getting something done. That's awesome. And you, too, are awesome. Think of all the people that are not trying, that have given up, that think it's hopeless, that they're done, they're over it, they can't even. You can even. You can. It's just a matter of getting some help, and it depends on you. You know, maybe you grew up in a cluttered home like I did, and you never really were taught both overtly, here's how you do this. You know, maybe once you got taught something, but then also by observation. What did you learn by picking up what the people were doing around you? And maybe the people around you weren't picking up stuff at all. Maybe they were just leaving it and letting it pile up. Maybe you had a wicked clean house and you never did any of this stuff, but you have this resentment, right? Possibly rightly so, about being made to feel bad about the fact that you were messier than the other people. You know, it all depends on where you are. But what I want to say is you can do something about your clutter. There are things in the world that we directly cannot do something about, but your clutter is something you have control over. And when you control your clutter, you also give yourself the opportunity to control how you feel. Now, I don't want to get too deep. It's a Saturday morning. I really want to help you with your chores and stuff. But if you want to feel good, if it makes you feel bad to be cluttered, do a little decluttering. You're going to feel good. All right? I love it. I have multiple black pants. Oh my gosh, all I wear is black pants. I'm going to be struggling when it turns nicer out. You know, I'm not struggling. I'll just find whatever clothes I wore last year and hope I fit into them. You know? Yes, I love it, Tanya, saying weeding out your clothes. I love that. And when I talk about it, I got to put my rings on. I feel like you're kind of combing, you're kind of raking out. I'm looking at my neighbor's leaves that I usually rake out. Raking out the leaves, so you move away what's dead, the dead oak leaves, and then what can grow is something beautiful. The flowers of your life can bloom. You know? Jay Teresa is saying, thank you for your kind words. You're welcome. Kind words make a huge difference. You know why? Because they make us feel okay. They make us feel better. Kind words, how does that make me feel? Makes me feel heard, listened to, considered. When somebody says something kind to me, I appreciate it. It makes my heart feel good. It makes my nervous system feel good and relaxed. And when my nervous system, maybe this is with you too, when my nervous system, when I'm not freaking out in fight or flight, when I'm feeling better, I'm going to do better. I'm going to take a baby step in the direction that I want. You know? And I say this, question mark, I got to work on these things. But it's like, you know. You know that you feel better when somebody's encouraging versus above you, beating you with a stick. Here's a carrot, not a stick. And how about this? It's going to be a carrot because tomorrow's Easter. And the Easter Bunny wants some carrots. Okay. Yeah, user 8800 says, help matters to me, not my husband. That's okay. If you know that help would help you, get help. CC Fitzhenry knows all about that. Maybe your husband's interested, maybe he's not. That's okay, because to me, it always comes back to you. If you feel like something's going to help you, then move forward with it. See if it works. Now, the one thing I will say is, from a decluttering point of view, what I want to offer you too, to just save you some money and save you some heartache, is if you think that buying more containers is going to solve your problem, that may make your problem, that may be part of making things look and feel and function better. But I beseech you, before you go out and buy any container, and this isn't because I don't, this is because I know the important thing is to go through your stuff first, to sort it, to declutter first. When you declutter, you will then have a better idea of what size container, what color container, because you know where it's going to go and you have the amount of stuff you want to fit into it with maybe some wiggle room. Okay? Do the sorting first. You got to sort it before you store it. And then when you go to store it, find some storage that feels good to you. I love it. Melissa's going to her shop, her retail job. I'm glad I inspire you, because I too used to wake up on Saturday mornings and every morning of the week and go to a retail job. I know what that's like, and I want to tell you, if you groove on the retail, that's awesome. If you don't, you can do something different. It took me way too long to change gears, so that's why I show up as a coach, because I know if I had some encouragement and some direction and somebody there with me along the way as I struggled through things that I did alone, I would have changed things more easily. Now, do I love where I am now? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want that for you too. Okay. Oh, see, Tanya, thank you so much. Tanya's given some really good things. She says hanging a curtain rod for scarves and leggings. I think I might have seen that here on TikTok too. I love it. Yeah, behind a door, I don't know I have it. I took it off my closet doors. Yeah, notice what works for you. Notice what works for you and notice what doesn't work for you. That's the wonder. And I'm not here to be like a secret. I hate when people do this. I hate when people say, oh, come to my seminar, and really it's a thinly veiled like commercial for whatever they're selling. You know what I'm selling, right? I'm not going to put it behind a veil because I love it. I do one-on-one paid coaching with one-on-one clients. I freaking love it. My clients freaking love it. Or maybe they don't freaking love it, but I freaking love it. So that's what I do. If you're interested in that, you go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. You sign up for a consultation. Before we even get to the price, people, don't let the thought of the price stop you from inquiring about what it is. Find out what it is and then see if what it is and what it will do for you is worth how much I charge. Now, I have been told by people, even people who decline because of money, they say, I know that's worth it. But when you find out these things, you're more informed. You can make a more informed decision for you. So I don't hide that. This is not a thing. But what I will say is finding a system that works for you. The way your house is set up, the way your brain is set up. I love the one-on-one coaching because then we can tailor, we can bespoke, we can take this off-the-rack package, this method that I have, the process, the steps, and we customize them 100% for you so that it is so much easier for you to get done the things you want to get done. And also, I'll say this, I have a process that works for many people. I'm also happy to throw the process out the window if you have found something better that's getting you the results you want in a way that feels good to you. That's what it's all about. It's not me being so rough about hanging on to stuff. Okay, so I love it that you're finding things that are working for you. Okay, there we go. Tanya saying the dollar store. God, Johnny, it's my Boston accent. Dollar store has vacuum bags that work wonderful for winter coats and blankets. Good to know. Maybe they'll work for things too. Okay, yes, okay, thank you, Strong Silver Soul Sister, is saying, I did this because of you, and I learned that I don't need additional containers. I need to repurpose or purge. And I thank you for letting me know that this is working for you, because this is what I found out. Myself, and also, as many of you know, I'm from New England, you just heard it in my voice. I live outside of Philly now, and I've lived outside of New England for almost 25 years, so it comes and goes, it ebbs and flows. And I help my mother who pretty much has ADHD, and undocumented, undiagnosed, and untreated. When I went to her house the very first time to help her with her clutter, she had purchased so many external solutions for what she thought she just needed containers. There's a whole side of the basement that I swear is just full of containers that I have just put there to reduce the clutter. So I know that may be a thing that's jamming you up. Okay. And if anything, yeah, Cat Mama's saying, yeah, I got a couple of empty ones now. You'll realize that when you decrease the amount of stuff, I have some empty ones now too. I have some down in my basement, and I'm going to do some shifting around. As you guys have seen, I've been helping my husband with his clutter, and his clutter is stuck in these kind of opaque, heavy boxes or old cardboard boxes. Once he's gone through them, we are putting his stuff that he wants to keep in transparent plastic boxes that are easy to stack, easy to see what's in there and how much is in there. And also, if we get a flood in the basement, they don't get wet. So, okay. I love this. Okay. CC Fitzhenry, yes, I pick a time and day. My husband is home. I still do more of it, but he does some. You know what? Here's my husband's waking up now. He's a good egg. He's a good Easter egg. But I will say this, the way that the house looks, oh, that's very cute. I just got a text from my mother. The way that the house looks and feels and functions is more important to me than it is to him. So therefore, I think about it more. He doesn't think about it as much. You should see his studio, but he's like, yeah, whatever. He's also the one who's also frantic when he can't find anything. So it's kind of funny. But in our common spaces, we have it so it's set up that it's easy for the both of us. I have my studio. It's wicked clean, almost a little bit too empty, but I'm filling it at a time that feels right to me with things that I love. So I'm okay. I'm getting used to having space and not filling it immediately. And his studios is a freaking mess. I can barely get into it. No, it's not that bad. It's been so much worse, but it is much more cluttered than I would like it, but that's his space. So you do you, I do me, you do you. Okay? Good morning. Oh, funny, Jennifer, you noticed my cute glitter nails. Yeah, I rarely get my nails done here, but we went down to Epcot with my said music husband. We were there last weekend when he was playing, and I thought I'd doll it up. And they're kind of chipping off. I have a conference to go to Wednesday to Sunday, Monday, and I'm going to see if these last until then. But thank you. Yeah, I rarely, get all girly, but I thought it would be kind of fun. Okay, Tanya is saying too, I'm now working on other rooms. It feels so good to have one room I feel great in. Yes. Tanya, I love your journey that you're sharing with people here, because here are a few things that I want to help everybody with. Notice how your clutter makes you feel. And this is what the way I coach, I like you to think of the opposites. I don't want you to think of, this is how it is. Unless something is a dot, this reminds me of like geometry. There's always going to be another side to something. There's always going to be a flip side, the other side to the story. One thing on one side of the mug, one on the other. How about the flip side, says Davy Jones. I was going to say, there's always a side to everything. So if your clutter is not making you feel good, doesn't it just stand to reason that not having as much clutter would make you feel better? Notice how it makes you feel. What's the opposite? The opposite is probably how you would rather feel. Now, Tanya said one of the things that helped her about me just showing up to kind of coach on a TikTok Live was saying, get a vision in your mind of how you want it to look. And if it doesn't look like you want it to look now, even just examine what the opposite would be. Oh, I have a bunch of stuff on my floor. You know what I want? Instead, the opposite. I want a clean floor. I want all of my books to be categorized in my bookshelves. I want to have some fun things on my bookshelves. Whatever it is. Ask yourself the question. Hear it. Listen in here. Then get it out of you where you can do something about it. Write it down. Nobody ever has to see what you write down. Only you can write it down. But if you start with, this is what I want in my home, in my life, this is what I don't want, you are so more likely. You have now focused on what you want so you can get more of it. And when you focus on something, you're immediately eliminating things that don't fit that focus. Boomer9254 says, if your whole house is cluttered, what room would you start in? I'd start in the room you want to start in. Boomer, what room do you want to start in? What room is going to make you feel better if it looks less cluttered even just by the end of today? I will say this. L Prince, she says, have you ever done stand-up? Only walking around my house, I just think it's fun. When you laugh, I feel like your brain kind of opens up like a sponge and you can absorb things. When you're bored stiff, bored solid, I can't think of anything. So I like to make things fun. I love people who are funny, because funny means you have a certain amount of intelligence, and it's kind of, I maybe come from the Boston area where everybody's like, zing, zing, zing. Hey, how about this? This is how hey, you. I haven't done stand-up, but I wouldn't mind doing a funny version of my TikTok Lives on a stage somewhere for paying guests who want to learn about clutter and have fun while doing it. But thank you. Good morning, Erin. Nice to see you. I hope those are 2 cups of coffee and not a cup of tea. But if it's a cup of tea, maybe you'll see, maybe you are a tea person. And if you're not a tea person, it's okay, because I'm not a coffee person. There we go. Cece Fitzhenry said, I started in the living room and now focusing in the kitchen and the dining room. Yeah. Notice what feels good to you. There's no wrong way to do this. The only kind of wrong thing, and even wrong is wicked judgy. I don't want to judge. The only bummer way to do this is by not starting at all. Once you start, it can feel good. Put on some music, look around. You know what you're doing, and I think some people will attest to this. You are creating a life that you want. The life that looks and feels and is filled with stuff that only you want. That can take decades to learn. It took me decades. That's why I'm only showing up now as a postmenopausal lady oh my God, I am literally in my late 50s. What the F is about that? But I'm so glad I'm doing this now, because it means I have learned something. I've used it, it works, and I want to share. I have always been about discovering something that I think is cool and wanting to share that with somebody. Look what I found. I used to go thrifting. Look what I found. I used to sell stuff. Look what I found. Oh my gosh, here's a recipe. This is really cool. This is a better salt shaker. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this thing that I think works and it will make your life better. That's why I show up as a coach. And I want to share what I've learned. So that's what I do. Where was I? I was riffing. See, I was riffing and then I fell off the edge of the stage. But what I want to just reinforce to you is, it may feel weird at the beginning because we have not been trained to do this, but this is all about you. How your home looks is about you. How you feel in your house is about you. I don't really care about anybody else in your family. I don't. I'm here for you. Because if you're showing up on this TikTok live, this is something that's bugging you, and you're like, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck, whatever. I'm just even curious about, maybe I'll learn some tips, I don't know. So I am here for you. I want you to be there for you too. Here's the thing. I want you to notice that you are, I haven't given this kind of my riff on driving your life. Do I even have it? Oh, yeah, actually. So I say in my mug to self, drive your life in the direction of your dreams. This is the metaphor that helped me change what I was doing and even more how I was doing it. Imagine your life as a road trip towards a destination you're really excited to get to. And I'm going to get deep right now because I can paddle around on the surface. I can also get wicked deep. I will get wicked deep for a hot minute, which is really the destination I think we're all driving towards. I know I am, is we're all going to die. We are going from birth to death. What I say is between those 2 points, the dash, if anybody knows that one. Oh, funny. How are you feeling? How did that journey go? Was it something you dreaded and hated and resented and were dragging your feet, or were you cruising along on a road trip saying, this is fun and cool things are happening to me? The destination really, really, if you think about it, is being on your deathbed and looking back at that dash from this way and saying, I had a life well lived. I spent my time, I spent my money on the things that were really important to me. And what I found out was, when I really got into it, that the things were not things at all. There was a way to feel. I feel good. I feel love. I am hanging around with people that I love. I am doing things that I love. I am spending my time feeling good. And when I feel good, I will do good for other people. So that to me is like the real destination. But that kind of thinking can also be freaking overwhelming. Whoa. So we chunk it down. We start with something small. We start with clutter. We start with your house. And we say, okay, what room is cluttered? It's almost like, okay, everybody, I'm doing a group coaching. What room is cluttered? And I always say this to my clients. I'm getting better at this. I'm asking you a question. Hear it, process it, and then instead of telling me, write it down somewhere. Kitchen, okay? Then ask yourself, okay, destination decluttered kitchen, you're right here. What are some things you can do between here and there to get yourself going? To do that. Before you even do that, destination decluttered kitchen sounds kind of mediocre. How can we beef that up? How can we spice it up? How can we make it add some excitement, add some something about it that makes you eager to get there, right? What do you want it to look like? How do you want to feel when you're in a kitchen? How do you want it to function? I ask you the question, you hear the question, you run it through your wonderful filter of yourself, making sure to include your heart, not just your head, and then write that stuff down. That's how it starts, okay? Yeah, Elle is saying, start in the room you use most so you feel the soonest. Notice that. That's what we're going for. We're not, the look is almost a byproduct. What we're really going for, if you think about this, is that feeling. And maybe with a smile on your face. That's how I am looking around this house. I am. And it's quiet in my head. You know why it's also quiet in my head? With the exception that I'm probably going to be dusting my Snow Dome collection. I'm so going to make a video of this because it's something I never do. When I look around, there's nothing yelling at me. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. It feels calm. It feels colorful, cheery, all the C's. And it feels good when I'm in my home. And it feels good. I feel good. Add the T. I feel good. Or remove the T. So if it feels good, I feel good when I'm in my home. Now, this is where I spend most of my time. So isn't it cool that I spend most of my time in a space that makes me feel good? When I feel good, I do good. I show up on my Saturday mornings doing a TikTok live. You can do this too. You deserve to live in a place that makes you feel good. Okay? Okay, question mark? Okay, period. All right, here we go. Whoops, I just knocked something over. Heidi is saying, I keep my living room decluttered and picked up as I work on other rooms, and I retreat there for breaks. What a great idea, Heidi. Because you know what you're doing is you're going back for that reminder of possibility. To be like, oh, you know what? If I did it in here, I can do it over there. It can become overwhelming. Your nervous system, your heart, your nervous system will run out of gas. Your tank will empty. You will run out of gas. You need to replenish your gas. You're going and getting a replenishment of that feeling and saying, yes, this is what I want. I'm going to go back in and do a little bit more. Okay? What a great idea, Heidi. Yes, have a place that you return to. You know what's really weird? The more I think about this and about where we come from, I remember doing this as a kid. Doing like I remember making forts. I remember setting up a little like apartment under my bed because I had a bed I must have been small. But, setting things up just like I wanted it, because when I got out from under the bed, it was kind of chaotic all over the place, And so how cool is it that now I can help people with those things? Yeah, Ella's saying, I keep one room perfect all the time so I have a Zen spot. Yeah, and you go there because it feels good, Yeah, Elizabeth Walter, notice, Elizabeth is saying, clutter gives me major anxiety. Well, here, if it gave it to you, you can say, thank you, but no. Thank you, but no. If clutter gives you anxiety, how about this? It's just a math problem. Clutter equals anxiety equals no clutter, or less clutter equals less anxiety. Fewer clutter equals fewer anxiety. No clutter equals, well, not no anxiety, because they would probably be dead, But notice, if the clutter gives you the anxiety, if you do something about the clutter, it will help you with your anxiety. Okay, yeah, I love it. Strong Silver Soul Sister. It's not the stuff. It's how well I'm managing the stuff so that it's not managing me. Yeah, who's the boss? You're not the boss of me, clutter. You're not going to make me feel bad. I'm going to do something. I'm going to put you away. I'm going to throw you away. I'm going to donate you. If I'm looking at something that doesn't make me feel good, I'm going to do something about it. Yeah. If you've had to clean out your parents' home, don't leave your stuff for your kids or family, and adds the grief. Yes. That's why I'm doing a lot of this stuff with my mother now. I will say this. First of all, she asked for help. I never went in. I would always offer help, but I waited for her to feel ready for it. That's why I know when I have clients that when you feel ready for coaching, one-on-one coaching with me, I'm here for you. You do. I'm not going to push you when you don't feel ready, but if you feel like, yeah, I really feel like that next step is just what I need to get me learning some skills I need and things like that, you got to feel ready. You got to be ready. And especially, that's one of the reasons, I'll be honest with you, one of the many reasons I charge money for my one-on-one coaching. I do that because, first of all, it's my business. But second of all, we show up differently for things we pay money for than things we get for free. Case in point, there are Harvard College, university, classes out there on YouTube. So technically, in theory, you could go and get you could learn all the learning. But what you're also paying for is showing up and doing it. When you pay somebody, you're more likely to get your money's worth. So it's a strategic thing to help you show up in a way that's going to help the coaching work. Because you can hear me on TikTok here. Maybe this helps you. That's awesome. I love it when you can do this. But if you listen to this and you're still not doing anything about your clutter, well, maybe it would pay. Who knows? Okay? But there are things you can do to get yourself motivated. One of the things I will ask, it's about 9:34 right now where I am in the East Coast. I always feel like I'm on the coast because I grew up on the coast, and technically I'm not on the coast, but I'm just looking over New Jersey. Hi, New Jersey. I'm looking over at the ocean because I love the ocean. If you like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, how about, as that fat loss coach, he's wicked funny, from Ireland, goes, drop me a follow. That would be great. If you're interested in some of the other stuff I do, Destination Decluttered email mailing list. This weekend, I'm putting out a good email for the people. I promised myself I would actually do it after this TikTok Live, so that everybody who signs up during my TikTok Live, just gets the most up-to-date information. So the email I send out this weekend to the people on the mailing list, first of all, you sign up at destinationdecluttered.com, join the mailing list. Pretty simple. There's one thing you need to fill out. Is going to be when the free group Zoom for just the people on the mailing list is happening. That will be scheduled. You'll hear about that. You will also know well in advance as to when I'm going to show up doing a TikTok live in the next 2 weeks. You'll know before anybody else. The last thing too, but to me is the most important, is if you're like, you know what? Yeah, like I'm looking outside, it's springy out. I feel like my house looks like that garden outside that has been covered with cluttery leaves for so long. Now may be the season for me to comb out, to rake out the clutter so that the life I want can bloom and I can nurture those plants and pull out the weeds and get out the dead stuff so that the life that I want can look and feel and smell and taste and touch like I want it to. Maybe this is the season. The very first step for that is wicked easy. It is so low pressure, you guys. I will just say this. First of all, you know going in that it's paid coaching. So you know that it is a certain amount of money. I have been told even by that it's a bargain for many people. I feel good about my price because to me it aligns with the quality of coaching I'm giving and the transformations I can help you get. But the other thing is too, is that it's just really a consultation. It's just you and me chatting on a Zoom call. I find out more about what you're struggling with, mainly so I can see if what I'm offering can help you. Because if it can't, it's silly to talk about price if it's not going to do what I want. Like if I'm looking for a giant truck to haul stuff around, I'm not going to go to the Fiat showroom, right? But if I find a truck that I want, then it's like, oh, is that going to get me what I want? Then how much does it cost? Because then you find out the value of it. And the funny thing is too, is I bet you've spent a wicked lot of money trying to solve your clutter problems. Maybe you've bought some books. Maybe you've bought some containers. You've spent money. Maybe you're paying for outside storage. You know, there could be many things. Even just the fact that you're buying multiples of things. Like there are ways in which you don't even realize how clutter is costing you money. The thing I love about my coaching and why I feel so good about talking about it transparently and openly is I know that this isn't just like, you know, a gym membership that as soon as you stop going, it doesn't work and you have to keep on paying. Yeah. This is a way of thinking and feeling and processing. There's a formula. There's a process. There's a method behind my madness. That a structure, a framework that you learn and you practice with that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. And it's not just about making your house look cool. It's about making your life look and feel cool. So I got that. I feel like I went off on a rant, not a rant, but just a sharing of info because I want you to know that there are resources out there. Okay. Oh, Lori Hannah, I love it. So Lori, again, this is not a paid testimonial. I don't know when people are showing up on TikTok Lives, but Lori is one of my clients and she says, on my third package, because one-on-one has helped me so much, is the best thing I did is think differently now. Yeah, you guys. The clutter, all this is kind of a byproduct of what's going on up here. And if you learn how to change how you're thinking, it changes everything in a really cool way. It really does. I don't know why I'm whispering. I should be yelling it from the rooftops. I don't know why I'm whispering. But man, when you realize that you can change the way you think about stuff and the way you think about things makes you feel different. When you feel different, you do different. Oh my gosh, this is why I'm out here showing up all the time because it's such a cool thing. I want to teach it to you. I don't want to be the only person who has an awesome life. I want to share this with you so you do too. Okay? Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Laura, Erin, Lori, nice to meet you. Yeah, clutter does cost you money. I have found so many duplicates in my home since working with Beth. Yeah, noticing when you were buying things, you didn't even know what you had because you couldn't see it. Or you couldn't find it, so you just bought another one. It cost you money. Yeah, you sometimes don't know what you have or what you could use instead. Yeah. Sally Joe, destinationdecluttered.com. Okay. I love it. Heidi is saying 4 tape measures, the hardware kind, and 7 sewing tape measures found purging. Yes, I joke about the fact that when we were helping my mom clean out her house down the Cape after my dad died, we found literally, I think my sister took a picture of 12 spatulas. Now, the funny thing is, I live with a husband who likes to cook and likes to make eggs and stuff. So I live in a house that has 5 spatulas, but we've gone through them. And I'm like, Do you really need each one of these? And for each one of them, he's like, yes, I use this for this for this. Now, I'm not the one cooking, but even just going through and making sure that the quality and quantity of items you have feels good to you. It's all about feeling good. If 80 socks, like Normie up top thread, if he feels good with 80 socks and they fit for where he wants to put them, have at it. What matters is what feels good to you. You know? And this is one, I'll probably do a TikTok video about this, but think about this. Decluttering. Boom, boom. What's in it for me? Why do I even want to do it myself? Because if you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. And you're probably going to want to do something if it means something to you. But if it doesn't mean something to you, you're probably going to like, well, yeah, whatever, my house is fine. I'm not going to judge you. No, but if you want to do something about it, I'm just letting you know you can. Hey, I love it. Yeah, Susan is saying cleaned out under the sink. 8 bottles of dishwashing liquid, various brands and sizes. Yes. Isn't it funny? I find these things myself too. You don't realize that you are in a groove of buying a certain thing until you find a little bit too much. I am much more aware of it now. And because I grew up in a house that had multiples of things that were always going bad before you even used them, but it was on sale or whatever, I am not to the extreme, but like I right now need to buy some shampoo because I've got about that much left. And actually, speaking of shampoo, I'm going to write that down on my list of things to do. You notice how we write shopping lists? Get it out of your head. I'm not going to remember it. So I've got shampoo. We need some toilet paper. Oh, there's something else. Deodorant. Yeah, I need to buy some stuff that I'm running out of, but it's like because I don't have multiples. But I love going to the store occasionally because if I don't go, like I work so much in my house and I'm so happy here, sometimes it's good to have an excuse to get up, you know? Oh, there we go. Thank you. TikTok lives are great for nuggets and inspo, but one-on-one coaching with Beth is all about you and she helps. Awesome. Helps you get to the root of why. She'll help you change your thinking. My mindset is different now. Erin, we need to copy and paste this. We need to put it on my website, okay? I love it. So we are talking about clutter. I am Beth. I am Decluttering Life Coach. And for the next 22 minutes or so, I am here to help you with what you're struggling with clutter-wise. And a lot of it is in your head about what you think about your clutter makes you feel a certain way. And when you feel a certain way, you do a certain thing. If you're feeling like this is hopeless, I'm overwhelmed, I've been this way all my life, yada, yada, I don't want to do this is hard, this is going to be so difficult, this is so heavy. That's a way of thinking about it. When you think that way, how does that make you feel? Heavy, discouraged, downtrodden, not feeling so good. Next thing you want to crawl up in a little ball and just scroll on TikTok. I get it. I've been there. I get that way sometimes too. I'm human. We have all the feelings. I just show up to let you know there's a different possibility out there. That sure, if your clutter makes you feel not so good, there is something you can do about it. You can make a change in your life. You can make yourself feel better if your clutter is jamming you up. I don't come in and judge you and say your house is cluttered, clear it up. But if you're judging yourself and saying my clutter doesn't make me feel good, I can teach you how to do things with it. You know? Silver Fox 143 says, how do you throw out memories when everything was good and happy then? Don't, silly. Why would you throw out memories that feel good? What I want to suggest to you, though, is to back up a little bit. There are 3 levels of clutter the way I coach. Surface, stored, and sentimental. You are totally hitting on the sentimental. And you're also hitting on the good feelings. What I want to offer you, though, this is what I say, is the memory is not the thing. You associate the memory with the thing, but the thing doesn't hold the memory. The memory is in your heart and in your head. Now, I have sentimental things all over the place. I can tell you the story that these things tell me. But what I want to offer to you is, if you have stuff that you don't want, but you remember the story, is there a different way that you can keep the story alive in your heart or remind yourself of the story without keeping the thing that's taking up space? And the wonderful thing is, you guys, we all pretty much have digital cameras. A picture of a thing often can be a very easy way for you to remember, to be reminded of the story of that thing or that time. Okay? So, is there a way, and again, I'm asking you, It won't be a blanket statement. Sometimes you do want the thing, but other times you say, is there a way I can remember this without keeping the item? The wonderful thing is, you guys, I will share this with complete sincerity. When you show up, when your nervous system isn't in fight or flight and freaking out mode, calm down your nervous system, breathe down, slow down, calm down, all the downs. And then you ask yourself this question with love in your heart, not judgment, love, not backseat drivers saying, isn't there a way you can do that? You open up your own brain to feel safe enough to give you the answer. I don't have the answers for you, but what I do is I help you learn how to unlock the answers you have up here, and even more important, right here. Now, this may not sound like your typical decluttering coaching, because I'm not your typical decluttering coach. I know that there's stuff behind the stuff, and that's why I got my certification as a life coach, so I'm comfortable helping you through this part of the journey. Remember the good stuff. If I was at my desk, I'd show you my book of good things, my book of, I can't remember. Lori Hanna, if you're still on, what is it? The book of positive aspirations or something like that, Abraham Hicks, right? A book that reminds me, I practice. It is a practice to show up and say, what's a good thing I made happen today? What's a good thing what's a thing I enjoyed today? The sun was out, sun was shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in sight. I saw a friend. I'm going to a party tonight. I'm going to go buy some things I need at Target. Whatever it is that lights you up, remember, when you read those things, it brings back the feeling. Okay? Yeah, okay, so Reedy 20, let me help you with this, because Reedy is saying, I desperately need help. Okay, so notice the desperation feeling. There is help out there, okay? If you know you desperately need help, but you are also a level 1.5 hoarder, there are mental health professionals trained in hoarding. Hoarding is a diagnosis in the DSM-5, I think we're at now. God, we could be at the 6 or 7. And there are people out there who can help you with the hoarding. I am not qualified to help you through that journey. I am not a trained mental health professional. And I say that with love for myself because I know where I am in the food chain and I'm happy with where I am and what I do and how I do it. But I also say that to you as a human who's struggling with something. Here, I can help you. Because what I can say to you is look for the helpers that have the training that can best help you work through that journey. Hoarding is typically, as I said, it's a diagnosis, and there are some mental health things there. There's absolutely nothing wrong with getting help with what you're struggling with. There's something very right about getting help with what you're struggling with. Right, everybody? If you're stuck in the mud on the side of the road and you can't do it yourself, you call somebody who can help you get out of the mud. So I may not be Reedy. What I offer might help you on certain levels, but at a certain point, you may get to a point where you need more than I can give. It's almost like calling a friend to help you push out of the mud, and you can do a little bit. But then if your engine stalls, I'm not a mechanic. You call a mechanic. You call a professional that can help with that specific problem. Okay, but I will say this: I love the fact that you're realizing where you are. You already know your level. So the very next baby step is to just Google. I bet you there are hoarding professionals out there in your area, maybe, or even online that could work with you. Okay, so same type of thing. Somebody is struggling with getting rid of your mother's belongings. That is a level, surface stored sentimental. The things tell you a story. The things that tell you a story, everything is going to tell you a story when you're in somebody's house that passes. I've just been there recently. I know it. Keeping the person and the feelings that you want in your heart. Disassociate. Separate the story from the item can help you release the item. Maybe you want to save a few things. Tomorrow, I'll share this. Tomorrow is Easter. I'm not going to be with my family. That's fine. We're going to a party locally tonight. I'm wicked looking forward to that. Tomorrow, in a way, one of the ways that I kind of think about my family on holidays when I'm not up in New England is I will pull out the family silverware drawer and I will this is how I enjoy this. I will polish some silver and I will think about my family. They're not here. They're not imbued in the silver. I conjure them up in my heart, and it's a box that only takes about this big. So find something that works for you to keep the story and release the item if you choose to. Or keep all the items you want and feel cool with it. And then find a way that they're organized in a way that feels good to you, but feels good in a core way, not just a surface way. Okay? I love this. I love it. GGX2000 says, just donated 2 bags of clothing and emptied 2 boxes. Rock on. Rock on. Okay. Who is this? Just scroll till I die. What amount of digital clutter is too much? The amount of digital clutter that doesn't feel right to you. I will tell you, I am substantially less organized online than I am in my real life. You know why? I will tell you why. Because there are multiple ways online that you can find the things you're looking for quickly. Keywords, folders, images, Control F, Control Find. Don't you wish you could kind of Control F something in your house, right? Or reading a book, you're like, oh, can't I just copy and find the word I'm looking for? To me, digital clutter is different, but the concept remains the same. If your digital clutter is making it more difficult, is making your life more difficult, then that's the level. My life isn't really impacted. I can fairly easily, this is me typing, find the stuff I'm looking for online. So I could go back and, oh God, I could spend my time renaming files and all that kind of stuff. I don't feel like spending my time doing that. I want to spend my time doing other things. You do you. You know, so find a way that makes your life living easy. That's the other thing about me being here for feeling good, making it easy. When it makes it easy, you inevitably will feel good. Okay? Book of Positive Aspects. Thank you, Lori Hanna. Thank you. I'm going to write that down because I always forget it when I'm doing my coaching. Positive Aspects. Thank you. I knew you'd... See, isn't that great? And when you don't have... When you're struggling with something, you can't figure it out, asking for help. That's what I just did. I couldn't remember something. I knew Lori did. And she did, and she helped me, and now we both feel good. Positive Aspects. Thank you. Alrighty. So, what do we got? Laura's feeling good because she purchased some clothes and shoes yesterday. Thank you for your service to us, Rosalind. You're welcome. Here's what I want to offer to you all, okay? What are you going to do today to make yourself feel good? Even just giving yourself the space, notice my dramatic pause, giving yourself a space to ask yourself that question and then to listen for the answer and to give yourself the quiet. This is one of the things I love about the fact that I use the driving and the road trip metaphor so much is if your life is so chaotic in your home and you get people screaming and whatever, you can get in your car, you can drive someplace else, you can lock the doors, and you can sit down with a pad of paper or notes or whatever, however you want to get the thoughts out of your head onto someplace else where you can look at them and they don't change. A shopping list of what do I want in my life. Write that stuff down. It makes it easier to get it. And if your home is too chaotic, get in your car, drive away, park, on the side of the, park on a parking lot, close it, get the doors, and just have some quiet. And say, what am I going to do today that's making me feel good? Myself, I'm going to walk to yoga after this. I'm going to go to Target because I have a few things I need to pick up. I'm going to, actually, here's a thing. I am going to go through some junk mail. I have a huge grocery bag, a Roach Brothers bag full of junk mail that my mother, last time I went up to help her, I said, don't get overwhelmed with your junk mail. Anytime you get a piece of junk mail, this might help you too. Anytime you get a piece of junk mail, put it in a grocery bag. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to dump it out, I'm going to sort it out, and then I'm going to get her unsubscribed from all these things. I've done it with myself, so I'm good about what I get. And now it's at such a level that I know there are some things I can't control, so I just immediately put them in the recycle bin. But because I've decreased my clutter, but then every time something comes in that I don't want and I can unsubscribe from it, I do. I've changed my habits. Now, taking in the mail takes like 2 seconds. So what are you going to do today that's going to make you feel good with your clutter? Okay. There we go. I love it. Sharon's fill a garage bag of things that are bound for the trash. There you go. There you go. Paige, yeah, to go buy clothes I can't afford. No. Cooking dinner for the family. Yeah, if that makes you feel good, that's awesome. Notice that's going to make you feel good. you know? Um, I'm talking about files from the 90s that belong to my family. It's hard to delete those. See what the content of the files is. Open up the files. See what they are. You know? It can be a thing. DestinationDecluttered.com, I think somebody was asking for the website. Here on TikTok, I'm Destination Decluttered. And even when I'm not doing my TikTok lives, I have, literally, you guys, this was crazy to me. I noticed this the other day when I was doing a live. I checked my YouTube channel. There are over 170 TikTok lives that I have recorded and uploaded to YouTube. And you know why I do that? Because when I started doing TikTok lives last spring, in a way to reach people who were struggling with clutter, somebody said, hey, do you record these? It had never occurred to me to record them. It just didn't enter my mind, but somebody said that would really help me if they were recorded. I'm here to help, so sure, I'll record them. And they do, and I give them away for free. Again, that's why I feel so good about when I do charge money. It's not like I have everything behind a paywall and I won't help you unless you can, go through the door. There's plenty of good stuff out there that can help you. But if you want the quickest way to get to where you want to go to and really have that lasting effect, that's why I offer the one-on-one coaching. I love it. I think it's fun. I love seeing the transformation with people. I love getting, helping people through what they're struggling with so that you get on the other side. And then they're like, oh, I get it. Oh, and I do this and I do. Okay. And I'm practice. Oh, and then it's like watching. It's like helping to teach somebody learn how to drive a car. Something you never knew how to do. You got some lessons. You practiced. You do it for the rest of your life. Such good stuff. Okay. There we go. Heidi is making holiday treats for my sons, which I only make twice a year, 33 and 31, and they are psyched. Yeah. I call some things once a year foods. I've been eating a lot of Zittner's eggs where we live outside of Philly, and they have these delicious, they don't even look like eggs anymore. They look like logs, but these chocolate covered kind of Easter eggs. Oh my God, so good. Thank God they're not around all the time. I would be eating them 24/7. Okay. Silver Fox 143. I have over 400K unread emails. You might want to meet my husband. He also has them. You know what? But here's the wonderful thing. Silver Fox and everybody. If you haven't read them and your life is going the way you want to, you probably don't need to read them. You could probably delete all the unread emails, and if it's important, the people are going to get back in touch with you. There is a certain point where it might make sense to go through things piece by piece. Otherwise, at a certain point, if you're already living your life, not opening those boxes, that email box of unread, if you haven't read it in a certain amount of time, don't torture yourself and go back and feel like, oh my God, I have to read every single one of them. Just scan through and see if there's anything important and start deleting them a little bit at a time. It might take you a few times, but you also seem to be, like your life seems to be going okay without reading them. So maybe just a mass delete. See what happens. Yeah. Somebody says, what's email? I haven't looked through it in years. Yeah. Why bother deleting them? Exactly. It might be filling up your email box. I like to file mine away because I like to look back on things, but I rarely look back on them, but I feel good knowing they're there. I literally have, kind of in the book of positive aspects type of thing, I started years ago a folder in my emails called Good Stuff. Good Stuff. Somebody sent me a nice thing. Good stuff. Somebody said, thank you for your donation. Good stuff. Good stuff came through my email. I have a folder. I don't even need to look in the folder. I just see it exists and I know stuff's in it. It makes me feel good. Okay. Okay. I always think there's some registration emails, travel agent. Yeah, there might be. Look for those. Look for the ones you think you might need. And then the rest of them, maybe those can go away. Yeah. But to me, the clutter that really jams people up. And here's the great thing, is the physical clutter, the stuff that makes it physically harder for you, that makes you feel bad. When you're not on email, you're not really concerned about it, right? However, you live in a physical environment. We are spirits in the material world, as the police said back in the 80s. We are spirits in the material world. We live in a 3D environment. So when you're walking around your house, it may not make you feel, oh, I should stretch. When you're walking around where you are, it should make you feel good. It should make it easy for you to live, not more difficult. Okay? Yeah, I think that's all I got. I started getting into some of these comments, and I just realized, frankly, I don't, with love, I don't have the time to do it. I am really mindful about where I spend my time and how I spend my time, and I hope you do too. Okay? I know that I have some stuff planned for the day. Some of the things are external. I will share this with you. An external deadline. I know that I have yoga at 10:30. I know that I want to walk over there. I know that I want to get a good space, so I'm going to leave momentarily for that. I hope you have some stuff planned for today that's going to make you feel good. It doesn't have to be about clutter, but it can be. Because if you're not feeling, I will even say this, even if you have some stuff that you have planned that's going to make you feel good today, if your clutter is not making you feel good, what's one teeny weeny, eeny beeny, yellow polka dot bikini amount of clutter that you could do something with today that's going to make you feel better? Okay? This is funny. TikTok is having me do this verification type thing. I'm already signing off TikTok. But destinationdecluttered.com/join. Get on the mailing list. A big email is going out this week. I might do a pop-up tomorrow. We'll see how Easter goes. But in the meantime, you've got this. You can do it. Let's have some fun. And let's just get it done, okay? I'm with you on this. I can help. All right? I'll see you later. Bye.